At some point, you built a wall. Not because you wanted to keep people out, but because you needed to keep yourself from being hurt again, and it worked. The disappointments got quieter. The risks felt smaller. The pain became more predictable. But walls don't only keep things out, they keep things in too. And this is about what stayed inside and what the wall quietly cost you over time. Protecting yourself is not a flaw. It is one of the most human things a person can do. When something hurts you enough, when disappointment arrives, often enough, deeply enough, your whole system begins to reorganize around one goal, making sure that doesn't happen again. And that reorganization is intelligent. It is your mind and body working together to keep you safe. The problem is not the protection itself. The problem is what happens when the protection outlasts the danger. When the walls that were built for a specific time, a specific relationship, a specific season of pain, are still standing long after that season has passed. Still governing, still deciding what is allowed in and what isn't. Still running as if the threat were ongoing. It didn't happen all at once. It happened the way most things happen, when you have been hurt enough, slowly, and then completely. First, you stopped expecting, because expecting things from people who kept disappointing you started to feel like a choice you were making to hurt yourself. Then you stopped reaching, because reaching meant hoping, and hoping had already cost you more than once. Then you stopped letting people fully in. You kept them at a distance that felt manageable, close enough to feel connected, far enough to survive the inevitable ending. And then, almost without noticing, you stopped imagining that things could be different, because imagining had become its own kind of risk. Each step felt reasonable. Each step felt like wisdom. Each step felt like you finally learning how the world worked. But together, those steps had taken you somewhere you didn't quite intend to go. Here is what nobody tells you about protecting yourself. The same walls that keep pain out also keep joy at a distance. Because joy requires openness, requires the willingness to let something matter, to let someone matter, to invest in an outcome before you know how it ends. And when you have spent long enough protecting yourself from that kind of investment, joy starts to arrive at a slight remove. You can see it. You can almost feel it. But there is something between you and it. A pane of glass you didn't put there intentionally, but that has been there so long, you've forgotten it isn't normal. And it's not only joy. Connection becomes harder. Because real connection requires showing someone the parts of you that are uncertain, or afraid, or unfinished. And protection had made those parts very good at hiding. Possibility becomes harder because possibility requires believing that something good could actually happen to you. And after long enough, protecting yourself from disappointment, that belief quietly stopped feeling true. This is the part that is hardest to see from the inside, because from the inside, the protection doesn't feel like a prison. It feels like peace. It feels like finally not caring so much, finally not being so affected by things, finally having some distance from the pain that used to consume you. And that feels like progress, like healing, like finally getting it together. But there is a difference between peace and numbness, between being grounded and being closed, between letting go of what hurt you and letting go of the ability to be moved by anything at all. One is freedom. The other is protection that has become permanent. And the way you know the difference, the way you can tell which one you are living in, is by asking yourself, can I still be surprised by something good? Can I still let something land, really land, without immediately bracing for when it leaves? Can I still want something without preparing for its absence, before it even arrives? If those questions are difficult to answer, That is not a character flaw. That is the cost of protection. That has been running too long. There is a particular grief that comes with this realization, not the grief of losing something external, but the grief of recognizing how much you have quietly given up in the name of safety. The relationships you kept at arm's length, because getting closer felt too risky. The opportunities you didn't pursue, because wanting them too much felt dangerous. The moments of joy you experienced, at a slight distance, present but not fully there. And underneath all of that, a version of yourself that stopped being fully alive, because full aliveness felt too exposed. That grief is real, and it deserves to be felt, not as evidence that you did something wrong, but as evidence that something cost you more than it should have. I want to say something about the protection itself. It was not a mistake. Every wall you built, every time you stopped expecting, stopped reaching, stopped letting people in, was a response to something real. Real pain, real disappointment, real moments where openness had cost you more than you could afford. The protection was not wrong. It was necessary. For that time, in that season, with those people. But you are not in that season anymore. And the question that protection can never answer for you is, what would be possible now if the walls were a little lower, not gone, not demolished, just lower? Low enough to let something in that has been waiting on the other side. If you have been protecting yourself for a long time, I want you to hear something. The fact that you protected yourself is not the reason good things haven't found you. Good things found you. You just weren't always able to fully receive them. And that is not a permanent condition. It is a learned one, which means it can be
slowly,
gently without pressure, unlearned. Not by tearing down everything you built to survive. Not by forcing yourself to be open before you are ready, but by noticing, in small moments, when the protection is still necessary, and when it is simply a habit you no longer need. The walls kept you safe, but you were always meant for more than safety. You were meant to actually live, to be moved and surprised, and occasionally undone by something beautiful, and that is still possible. Even now, even after everything that made the walls feel necessary,